Council President, we're now live.
Thank you. Sorry for the delay. Good evening. Public hearing and the public meeting on bills number 200-285, 200-286, 200-287, 200-288, 200-289, 200-290, 200-291, 200-292, and resolutions number 200-307 and 200-331 will stand in recess until 8 p.m. This evening, June 17, 2020. Thank you very much. As indicated earlier, members, please look at your team calendars. Thank you very much. See you at 8:80.
Mr. President, Councilman Squilla, I just want to let you know here for the Councilman Squilla's here.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so 8 p.m.
8 p.m. and hopefully we can kind of wrap this up.
All right, sounds good. See you all. All right,
bye. See you all at 8.
Councilman Jones was here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Council President, we are now live.
Ready? Okay. Good evening. For those of you that have stayed tuned, I want to thank you so much for your particular interest in the government and how your government works. This is a non-traditional hour for us to be taking care of the people's business, but the people's business we must take care of. So I want to thank you for your interest and your commitment to ensuring that there's a level of transparency in all that you do, that we do. So I'll start the script. I understand that the state law currently requires that the following announcement be made at the beginning of every remote public hearing as follows. Due to the current public health emergency, City Council committees are currently meeting remotely. We are utilizing Microsoft Teams to make these remote hearings possible. Instructions for how the public may view and offer public testimony at the public hearings of council committees are included in the public hearing notices that are published in the Daily News, Enquirer, Legal Intelligencer prior to the hearings, and can also be found on phlcouncil.com. I now note that the hour has come. So, Mr. Stitt, I will ask that you please call the roll and take attendance. For the members that are in attendance, please indicate by saying aye or present.
Councilmember Bass?
Present.
Councilmember Brooks?
Present.
Councilmember Dom?
Present.
Councilmember Gauthier?
Present.
Councilmember Gilmore Richardson?
Present.
Councilmember Green?
Present.
Councilmember Gim?
Good evening, colleagues. I am present.
Councilmember Heenan?
Good evening, colleagues. I am present as well.
Councilmember Johnson?
Good evening, everyone. Present.
Councilmember Jones?
Good evening. Present.
Councilmember O?
Good evening. I am present. Thank you.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Present.
Councilmember Parker?
Good evening, everyone. Present.
Councilmember Keone Sanchez?
Can I say good morning pretty soon?
Councilmember Squilla?
Present, here, and ready to go.
Councilmember Thomas?
Present.
Council President Clark?
President. So we're going to get started. We have clearly established a quorum committee. We'll now call this to order. This is the public hearing of the Committee of the Whole regarding bills number 200-285, 200-286, 200-287, 200-288, 200-289, 200-290, 200-291, 200-292, and resolutions number 200-307 307 and 200331. Mr. Stick, can you please read the titles of the bills and resolution?
Okay. Bill number 200285, an ordinance to adopt a capital program for the 6 fiscal years 2021 through 2026 inclusive. Bill number 200286, an ordinance to adopt a fiscal 2021 capital budget. Bill number 200287, an ordinance adopting the operating budget for fiscal year 2021. Bill number 200288, an ordinance amending Chapter 19-1200 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Parking Tax by revising certain tax rates under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 200289, an ordinance amending Chapter 19-1800 of the Philadelphia Code entitled School Tax Authorization by revising certain tax rates all under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 200290, an ordinance amending Chapter 19-2600 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Business Income and Receipts Taxes by revising certain tax rates under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 200291, an ordinance amending Chapter 19-1500 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Wage and Net Profits Tax by revising certain tax rates under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 200292, an ordinance amending Chapter 19-1300 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Real Estate Taxes to eliminate the discount for early payment of real estate taxes, all under certain terms and conditions. Resolution number 200307, resolution providing for the approval by the Council of the City of Philadelphia of a revised 5-year financial plan for the City of Philadelphia, covering fiscal years 2021 through 2025, and incorporating proposed changes with respect to fiscal year 2020, which is to be submitted by the Mayor to the Pennsylvania Intergovernmental Cooperation Authority pursuant to the Intergovernmental Cooperation Agreement authorized by an ordinance of this Council approved by the Mayor on January 3, 1992, Bill number 1563-A, by and between the City and the Authority. Resolution number 200331, resolution approving the Director of Finance's Budget Stabilization Reserve Fund withdrawal certification for purposes of allowing utilization of $34,276,000 in the reserve fund for general fund purposes in connection with the FY2021 operating budget.
Thank you, Mr. Stitt. We will now briefly resume the public hearing and announce that there are no departments being called back to give additional testimony and no other witnesses to testify today. With that said, are there any questions or comments from members of the committee? Thank you. There being no further questions from members of the committee and no other witnesses to testify, this concludes the public hearing of the committee. We will now go into a public meeting to consider the action to be taken on the bills before the committee today. Chair recognizes Councilwoman Parker for a motion on bill number 200285.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that bill number 200285 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
Been moved and probably seconded. Bill number 200285 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Ayes have it, and motion carries.
The parking tax.
Okay, and the wage tax is $291, non-resident?
I'll tell you in a second.
Councilman, you want to?
No,
you're not on mute.
We ask everyone to
mute yourself. Yeah, you're.
mute.
Councilman O'Neill? No, this, all right, thank you. Thank you. Ayes have the motion carries. Chair recognizes Councilmember Parker for a motion on bill number 200286.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that bill number 200286 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next section of council.
Second.
It's been moved and probably second that the bill number 200286 be reported from the committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Chair recognizes Council Member Parker again for a motion on the amendment to Bill number 200287.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer an amendment to Bill number 200287. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to Bill number 200287 be approved.
Second.
Thank you. It has been moved and properly second that the amendment to Bill number 200287 be approved. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Motion carries. An amendment to Bill number 200 has been approved. Chair now recognizes Councilmember Park for motion on an additional amendment to Bill number 200287.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer an amendment to Bill number 200287. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to Bill number 200287 be approved.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and properly second that the amendments to Bill number 200287 be approved. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. An amendment to Bill number 200 has been approved. Chair recognizes Councilman O for a motion on his amendment to Bill number 200287.
Thank you very much, Council President. I offer an amendment to Bill number 200287. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committees. Before I move for an adoption, I'd like to be heard on the amendment.
Please so. Do so, Councilman.
Thank you very much, Council President. The charter makes our system of government a strong mayor system. It's the nature of city government. We have a very strong mayor. And we have a council that is a check and a balance, reflects the will of the people. We all are required to do what we think is best. I want to applaud you, Council President. It's been a tough year, COVID-19, everything else, and you have put a lot of work into this. However, I do offer this amendment because I believe it's in the best interest of the people. In particular, council decides the budget. The mayor proposes, and we have had a very challenging time doing this remotely. And many of our questions were not answered. For example, I asked the administration a couple of times to provide the savings from the city being shut down. I never got that, but an independent analysis on my part says that they have over $44 million from savings. They have their opinion, I have mine. In addition, there is money in the reserve fund, and even with the money that was taken out, there's still $11 million there, and there's also the unused, not going to be used savings from the $40 million that was transferred to DHS for pre-K, of which 3,300 seats are being authorized and not one seat more. And that provides another $10 million. So with $21 million, I propose that we use that money to recover our economy. And that is going to be an issue. So one of the most important things that I would say is that we use the money in the reserve fund for just this type of occasion, to recover. $157 million, people know what that is. That's the annual tax revenues from the arts economy. $3.4 billion, $900 million in household income annually. So what I propose is that we use $4.1 million to restore fully the Office of Arts, Culture, Creative Economy, and to fully fund the Philadelphia Cultural Fund and all that it does. Also with that is money for the Greater Philadelphia Film Office, and the African American History Museum. I would then take an additional $8.7 million to retain 29 staff members and restore core programs for our city in Parks and Rec. And a lot of people have now experienced Parks and Recreation because of COVID-19. These programs, particularly programs for our youth, like the swimming pool program in our underserved neighborhoods, a lot of people count on. Our free library should be open on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. With $6.2 million, we can retain 28 staff and return these core services. Also, these 4 regional library branches and main library are also places where people can access Wi-Fi. So the Commerce Department can retain 43 staff members with a restoration of $1.5 million because we have a grants fund and grants managers that are no longer there. I think these and other things are worth it. I think we can afford it. If there's a difference of opinion, I think it's incumbent upon this city council to enact a budget that will provide the services that people want. So with that, I would move for the adoption of the amendment. Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and probably seconded that the amendment to bill number 20087 be approved. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed?
Nay.
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 Pretty close.
No.
Council President,
Councilman, be good.
Council President, I had a point of information. I actually wanted to make a comment before the vote, but I put it in.
Well,
But
go ahead, Councilman.
well, we're in a motion. So from the Mason's vote procedure, we got to complete the motion.
I concede the vote, Council President. It's not close at all.
You conceded? You want to? Councilman? Oh.
We
Well,
had
we're
a voice vote.
So.
Is it, Council President, is there a motion for a roll call?
Is it okay for me to say the nays have it, motion fails?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, okay. Councilman Green, did you still want to?
Yeah, I just want to say something on the record in reference to the motion. I'm okay with Councilmember O making his statement, coming up with alternative, but also based on the fact that the administration, as well as 16 other members of council, and also members of this body who, like myself and like you, Council President, and also like you, Majority Leader Parker, have worked in City Council for a number of years. And so I don't want the public to get the false perspective that we have the ability to come up with numbers and be able to say, well, I'm not going to make a hard vote for certain taxes, and then we can do some alternatives in order to provide resources back into the budget, which is really not a realistic perspective. So I just wanted to make sure that the public has a full perspective on the process that we're doing today, and that we're taking a very hard vote based on real numbers and based on the fact that we just identified the fact that we had a challenge in reference to the numbers coming in May, which were $100 million less than anticipated, which also could occur in June as well as July and going forward. So I don't want the record to be unclear in reference to the fact that there are votes that need to be done based on real numbers and real information, and that's why I think the majority of this body is moving forward in reference to this vote. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Council President Clark, this is Sanchez. I just also want to make a point. I think that a lot of the advocacy that Councilman O has done for some of these efforts are reflected in some of the amendments and some of the things that we did. So we appreciate his advocacy as chair of the creative economy. We heard him, and even though the full amendment was not adopted, there were many things in his presentation that we agreed with him in. And while we couldn't restore it to the full amount that he wanted, some of that work is reflected here. And so I want to thank him for his efforts every single year in outlining some of these priorities and forcing us to make some hard decisions. And I appreciate that advocacy. And I think the amendments reflect many of his sentiments and many of his concerns. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes at this point Councilwoman Parker for a motion on bill number 200287 as amended.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that bill number 200287 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and properly seconded that bill number 200 committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you all very much. The chair again recognizes Councilwoman Parker for a motion on the amendment to bill number 200288.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer an amendment to bill number 200288. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to bill number 200288 be approved.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and properly second that the amendment to bill number 200288 be approved. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries.
Abstain. One abstain.
One abstention. Councilman Dom, one abstention.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's right. The ayes have it. Motion carries, and the amendment to bill number 200288 has been approved. Chair recognizes Councilmember Parker for a motion on bill number 200288 as amended.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that bill number 200288 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and properly seconded that bill number 200288 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor, motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Nay.
Abstain. Councilman O'Neill, motion carries. Councilman, you want to be recognized as saying nay?
Yes.
And Councilman
Abstain.
O'Neill is voting nay. And
Yep. No vote.
Yes, he recorded it, Councilman O'Neill. One nay and one abstention. He recorded it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Chair recognizes Councilmember Parker for a motion on 200290.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the bill number 200290 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and properly seconded that the bill number 200290 be reported from this committee with favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those members that vote nay. Ayes have it. Those opposed, I'm sorry. Ayes have it. The motion carries. Chair recognizes Councilmember Parker for a motion on the amendment to bills number 200291.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer an amendment to Bill number 200291. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to Bill number 200291 be approved.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and properly seconded that the amendment to bills number 200291 be approved. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carried. And the amendment to bill number 200291 has been approved. Chair now recognizes Councilwoman Parker for motion on bill number 200291 as amended.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that Bill number 200291 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and probably seconded that bill number 200291 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Record reflected, Councilman O'Neill and Councilman O voted nay.
Yes.
Ayes have it, and the motion carried. Chair again recognizes Councilmember Parker for a motion on bills number 200292.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that Bill number 200292 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
Thank you. It has been moved and probably seconded that bill number 200292 be reported from this committee with favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Chair again recognizes Councilmember Parker for a motion on resolution number 200331.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that resolution number 200331 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and probably second that resolution number 200331 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. I will note that this time, for the record, that bill number 200289 and resolution 200207 being held. This concludes the business before the committee of the whole today. Thank you all very much for your attendance. I wish I can recommend that you all take tomorrow off, but unfortunately, we have council session tomorrow.
It's a holiday Friday. We're all off Friday.
Yeah, Friday. I'm moving ahead. So,
President,
yeah.
is there a speech of the majority?
Not in committee of the whole.
I just want to comment on
No.
beard. He cut his beard.
We're gonna put the lights off at 12. We got to get out of here.
Willow, you look great.
Okay, we actually need to let the tech support people go home because they've been there in City Hall. So again, to all of you, want to ditto my remarks earlier, and we'll be peeling back to all of you over the next couple of days to address some of those issues that were raised earlier during the course of the day. So thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
colleagues.
Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you for your leadership, and to the leadership team and the budget team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you all.
everyone.
Have a good night. Get a good night's sleep. See you in the morning.
I'm going to bed. Good night.